Welcome to the BASI Academy, and that is where the magic happens. We are in Southern California. I am delighted to launch this series of webinars about BASI education. So, moving on to the ProBridge program. So this is a professional bridging program. For many years, people would ask me, how do I get into BASI education? I'm already a qualified teacher, and I would like to know more about the BASI program. And my response was always, well, you just have to go through the full BASI course. But as more and more people asked, and these are people with prior qualifications, I decided to look more seriously at providing a bridging program. So just a moment about BASI Pilates. BASI Pilates is, and this has always been my philosophy, about preserving the classical repertoire of Joseph Pilates and his philosophy, while supplementing the movement with contemporary knowledge and scientific research. We are represented today in 30 countries and growing, and have approximately 100 host locations with about 10,000 BASI graduates around the world. By the way, BASI stands for Body, Arts and Science International. It is a beautiful synergy between the art and science of human movement, of course, grounded in the classical works of Joseph and Clara Pilates. These are the programs that we offer through BASI Pilates. I've tried to keep it very simple and straightforward. That has always been a guiding principle of mine, keeping things simple and straightforward. So we offer a mat program. This is very popular amongst people who know they will never have access to apparatus, countries where apparatus is not readily available. But the mat program serves as a springboard into further study within the BASI education environment. Our next program is the Foundation Apparatus Program and the Comprehensive Apparatus Program. These two programs together were formerly our Comprehensive Teacher Training course. For various reasons, we decided to split the course into two sections, two phases. This will be addressed in an upcoming webinar, and we will speak more about the reasoning behind that split. We then have the comprehensive global format, and that is essentially our comprehensive teacher training course, and it is taught in all countries outside of the US. And then our advanced education, which is split into certificate courses, workshops, and conferences. Within the Foundation Apparatus Program and Comprehensive Apparatus Program, we offer the Standard, we offer the ProBridge, and the Dance Specialization. So today we will focus on the ProBridge. The ProBridge, we gave our first ProBridge course in 2010. And the first course was taught by me here in Costa Mesa, California, at our BASI Academy. It was very, very well received, and I cannot speak highly enough about the first group that came. It was truly a meeting of the minds, people coming together from all different backgrounds and environments, from different qualifications. And what was so wonderful to see is people simply opening their minds and opening their hearts to education. No one came in with preconceived ideas. They came in to learn and to share. Since then, we have continued giving ProBridge courses at the BASI Academy in California. We've given a course in We will be giving a course in Denver, Colorado in 2016. We have conducted a course in South Africa, in Canada, in Spain, Holland, and Italy. And these, I am happy to say, have all been extremely well received. So to get into the ProBridge program, the difficulty in conducting this course and teaching this course from my perspective is that we need to convey not only all the information from our comprehensive course, which besides the actual teaching is a compilation of our study guide, a 100-page study guide, and 6 movement analysis books, which address the different pieces of apparatus, including the very popular Avalon system. And this is a compilation of probably over 500 pages of information. This is supported, of course, by our online software called Pilates Interactive, as well as many classes that can be seen on Pilates Anytime and our own BASI Pilates YouTube channel. So we need to condense all this information into a much shorter period of time. And we need to convey not only the information, but the essence of what BASI Pilates education is all about, so that people finish this ProBridge program and truly understand not only the exercises, the repertoire, the nuances of the repertoire, but the philosophy, the approach, the rationale behind decisions that we make within BASI Pilates. So prerequisites are proof of successful completion of a recognized Pilates teacher training program. And if we are unfamiliar with the program that you have gone through, we then do some exploration and try and research it and work with you to find a way to get you into our program. Being that you've completed a teacher training program, we are assuming that you have done a minimum of 450 hours, including training on all the apparatus. We are also assuming that you have solid knowledge of anatomy and physiology. Being that anatomy and physiology is universal, we do not go into that aspect of the teaching. Rather, we assume that you already have that from prior study, and we focus on what is uniquely BASI. That is what we focus on. As I said, because you can get the anatomy and physiology in many other courses. I will also say that we are assuming that at the end of your prior programs, you wrote a paper, a research paper, which essentially is part of our test out as part of the examination process at the end of the program, and I'll address that a little later. We hope and encourage that you've had 2 to 3 years of full-time teaching, 5 years of more personal practice and experience, and that you are solidly grounded in an approach and philosophy. Now, I stress that it does not have to be BASI. It could be any other approach. But I say to people all the time, become well-versed and grounded in an approach, because that will allow you to then go and study other approaches and assimilate the material more easily, absorb the material more easily, and understand the material more easily. One of the problems I see in our industry today is that people have little bits of information from many different sources. And the end result is that there is often confusion. And this confusion, of course, does not serve anyone well. So moving on, the foundation apparatus program is divided. We divide the course essentially into two parts. The first 3 days of study, 6 hours per day. And within those 3 days, we do 6 modules. In our regular course, we do 1 module per day. In the ProBridge course, we teach 2 modules per day. And as you can see in these modules, we cover exercise description, safety, the practice of cueing, imagery, and imprinting. We then go on to the BASI format. We address the BASI block system and methods of assessment. We teach about core strength, exercise adaptation, and guidelines for successful teaching. And again, addressing the more BASI specific methodology and pedagogy. That first weekend, or essentially 3 days, the first part, covers the first 6 modules of our course. The second 6 modules, again, 3 days, which is usually conducted a month or 2 later, covers the meaning of balance, functional exercise, the gait cycle, working with clients with shoulder problems, addressing the shoulder region in the Pilates repertoire, working with a broad range of clients, teaching select populations, and amongst them teaching men and women and the differences with those 2 populations. Once we've conducted those 2 parts, it is up to you, the student, whether you in fact want to go through the testing process. Remember, we are providing an education. If you want an actual qualification, then you are required to go through the exact same testing process as any one of our students go through that did the Comprehensive Global Format program, or what we call our Foundation Apparatus program and Comprehensive Apparatus program, together giving you a BASI comprehensive teaching qualification. If you want to get that qualification, then you need to go through a testing process. Within the United States, we offer what we call centralized testing. We test in several different locations around the country on different dates during the year. We always have at least 2 testing sessions and have had as many as 5 within a year at the BASI Academy. And then we typically have up in the Pacific Northwest, in the center of the country, in the Midwest, and then we have on the East Coast. There are only 2 people that administer the testing at this time. The one is myself, and the other, our Director of Education, Constance Holder. We did this to make the testing very consistent. Years ago, all our faculty would test out the students in the course that they taught. I felt that this was not giving a very consistent testing process. Some people may have been too harsh, others possibly too lenient. It became very subjective. By having only 2 people test out all the students, the testing process becomes much more objective, much fairer, and I think it allows Constance and I to continuously assess the level of the students and whether there may be areas that are lacking in the teaching, in the faculty's teaching. If we see that there are consistently certain mistakes, consistently certain variations that are creeping in, we can track it down to possibly one or two or several of the faculty that may need some clarification. What does centralized testing entail? It entails coming to the academy and teaching a 1-hour private session to a client that we assign to you. You have never met this client before. You meet the client, you get their history, and you then teach that client for an hour. Following that, we ask you to demonstrate 4 different Pilates movements, and these are selected randomly, and they are on all the different pieces of apparatus. Following the teaching evaluation and the practical examination, we sit with each person and each group for at least half an hour to an hour, and we give feedback about the teaching evaluation and the practical examination. This is very important to me because I want this testing process to be an educational event and not only a testing event. I want people to leave that testing feeling that they essentially have attended a workshop, that their knowledge has been enriched, that they are leaving with more know-how and knowledge than that which they came in with. So it really is an education. It's not just about you doing a session, demonstrating exercises, and then leaving. We want to give you feedback. There are also 2 written exams that are done online, and those are done in your own time. The one after after the first part, meaning after module 6, and the one after the second part, that is after module 12. Those are done again online in your own time, and those examinations, a pass score needs to be attained. I will repeat that we don't ask ProBridge students to write a final paper. This is something required of our regular students in our regular programs, but not required of our ProBridge students. I would like to briefly mention the benefits of the ProBridge. Again, it took me quite a while to come to terms with offering a ProBridge program, and I was determined that it is done right. If I'm going to do something, it has to be done to my standards, to the standards of BASI Pilates, and I believe that we have achieved that. So the benefits, it's an accelerated program. Now, accelerated, I want to stress that does have it's a double-edged sword. There's a wonderful side to that. There's also a difficult side. It's accelerated. There's a huge amount of material, and we allow you to take your time to assimilate and take in, absorb all that material. The ProBridge is approved for 36 PMA CECs, continuing education credits, upon completion. So those that want those CECs can then have them. Probably one of the most important benefits that I see is that you become part of the BASI Pilates community, what we commonly call the BASI Pilates family. I am so proud of this family, this network of BASI Pilates instructors around the globe. You can go anywhere in the world once you have gone through this program to a BASI Pilates studio, and I assure you that you will be embraced, that you will be welcomed, and because of the BASI block system and this very standardized format that we use, you could fit into teaching within 10 minutes in anyone's studio, from Japan to South Africa, from Australia to England, from China to Bali, Indonesia, from South America to North America. anywhere that you would like to work in a BASI studio, you will be welcome, and you will be able to immediately see the logic and the progression of the programs being taught and the classes being taught. And although the BASI block system offers a clear structure, it is important for me to say that it in no way stifles creativity. Quite the contrary. It enhances and encourages creativity. So Stephanie has a few questions here. So this is from Natasha. The question is it possible to do this program in Europe? Absolutely. Have offered it in Europe. As I said before, we've offered it in, I believe I said Holland, Greece, no, not yet Greece, I'm sorry, Holland, Italy, but we are open to offering this program anywhere and everywhere. I think it's an incredible program to offer, and it again provides the opportunity for people who already have prior qualifications, and we have many coming in to do the ProBridge. The courses are really very well attended, and they provide people an opportunity to simply gain insight into the BASI Pilates education. And then it's, of course, up to you whether you want the actual qualification or not. So absolutely, Europe available, and please write to us and we'll find a location for you. I'm going to the next question from Paula. Paula asks, where else can testing take place? Paula, if it's within the United States, we do advertise and publish our centralized testing locations. As I said, we always provide several opportunities here at the BASI Academy. In California, we do at least 4 a year, and sometimes more if there's a need for it and a call for it. It usually goes on for 3 full days. And then we have other popular locations around the country where we do the centralized testing. So the best would be for you to contact the Academy or write to us, and just go to basipilates.com, contact us, and we will provide you with all the information. If it is outside of the United States, then the testing takes place at the host facility that you do the course. I do see a question from Gil Santos, and that you would love a Brazil host of BASI Pilates. Gil, I am delighted that you would like us to be in Brazil, and I too want to be in Brazil. I visited Brazil. I taught at a conference in Brasilia last year. So obrigado for your question. I loved Brazil. And we hope to be opening at least 1 or several courses in Brazil within the next probably 6 months, latest a year. So please, again, contact us, look at our site, but we will have host locations in Brazil, for sure. Love Brazil. Darcy, you asked, you're still a little confused, and forgive me, that's probably, if you're not clear, it's my fault. Really, Darcy, the ProBridge is one program, but we divided it into 2 phases, calling the first phase, or the first part, foundation, and the second part, comprehensive. The foundation and comprehensive together give you the ProBridge. It gives you our comprehensive education. This is simply our comprehensive education, and we divided our comprehensive into 2 parts. Part 1, which we called foundation, part 2, which we called comprehensive. So yes, in short, to complete the ProBridge program, you do part 1, which is 3 days, part 2, which is 3 days. Melissa, I believe, asked the question, is the program taught in 6 days or in 2 parts of 3 days? 3 days each. It is taught in 2 parts, and that is extremely important. Honestly, to take in that amount of information in 6 days, straight 6 consecutive days, would be near to impossible. By doing it in 2 parts, it allows you to go away after the first 3 days and spend time practicing, absorbing the material, calling us with questions, doing sessions. And when you come then for part 2, you are well equipped to absorb more information, and very importantly, well equipped to ask multiple questions of your teacher. I see one comment here that you love the BASI block system that enhances creativity. I thank you. The BASI block system for me is it's simply my guiding light. It is my compass in every single session I teach and every single session I practice on my own body. The BASI block system and every mat class that I give, the BASI block system is the compass. When can you register for the ProBridge in Denver 2016? I believe if it's not already on our site to register, it will be very soon. So again, please feel free to write to us. Every single one of the people that works here at the Academy is dedicated, is passionate about their position, and will get back to you. I can absolutely assure you within 24 hours. If someone doesn't get back to you within 24 hours, you can write to me directly at rael@basipilates.com, and I'll take care of it personally. There's a question from a BASI graduate about the benefits of auditing. What a great question. Auditing is one of the most underutilized opportunities that we offer here at BASI Pilates. You can come and attend any of the modules and audit any of the modules and take part in any of the modules. It's like a workshop, but even better because you have gone through that material. I assure you that every single time you go through that material, it's like you're going through it for the first time. You see different things. You see nuances. The first time you see it, you're just taking in the choreography. You're taking in the information. The second time, you're seeing a deeper layer, and then a deeper layer, and then a deeper layer. And every time you do it, it becomes more and more profound. Profound. There are people, for instance, the mentor program that I teach. I just completed one here at the BASI Academy. I'll be teaching one in London in a month's time, and then in Istanbul, Turkey. There are people that have repeated that program 5 times, and these are seasoned Pilates teachers. And every time, it is unique and different. The learning continues. The learning is always expanding. And I'm ever changing, at risk of infuriating my own faculty, because that means everyone has to change. But we have to remain true to our heart and teach what we know to be the best that we can do at any particular time. And that means being open to change. I see one question there in the Middle East where you can join the ProBridge program. We do have a program in Bahrain. I don't believe it's the ProBridge yet, but certainly we are more than happy. We have had very serious requests to conduct the course in Bahrain, in Egypt, and in Dubai, and I hope that we will get to that within the next year or so. But certainly we have a host in Bahrain. Her name is Patricia, amazing person, and we are starting a comprehensive course there very soon. If you cannot get to do the ProBridge, I strongly encourage you to go through our whole program. It really is just such a wonderful program. The prerequisites, Marta asked, the prerequisites for hosting a ProBridge program. The prerequisites for hosting the ProBridge are the same as hosting any of our programs. The person to contact for hosting any of our programs, her name is, the email is Jamie, Jamieh, at basipilates.com. And she is our host and licensee coordinator, and she can talk you through becoming a host, what the requisites are, prerequisites for becoming a host. And I think it's a very, very good idea for a host to kick off their hosting and launch being a host with the ProBridge program. Very popular program, as you can imagine. One of our BASI graduates asked if you're already a BASI graduate, would reviewing the work in the ProBridge be advised? As I said earlier, absolutely. You simply cannot go through that work enough. It is so valuable, so important, so valuable, so enlightening to go through the work again and again. You know, I've taught this repertoire I've been doing it for over 35 years and been teaching it for almost as long. There's never a day that I don't do the work or teach the work that I don't learn something myself. So that title of being a teacher should not mean in any way that you have ceased learning. Quite the contrary. The moment that you are given that title, teacher, you now have an obligation to continue being a student. When you're a student, you don't have an obligation yet. When you're a teacher, you have an obligation to now, it's your commitment to now continue learning. As much as I love giving each one of you a hug in person, I'm giving you a virtual hug and sincerely hope that we can meet in the future. The PMA does qualify you for PMA CECs. I just saw that question come in. Yes, you do get, I believe it's 36 PMA CECs. So there you go. Not only are you enriching yourselves and expanding your knowledge, but you're getting PMA CECs. It's been a wonderful experience. Thank you to everyone. And I'm about to start teaching. So I hope to see you all again soon at one of our webinars.